Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Greetings from beautiful sunny Koh Samui. In today's video, I just wanted to share sort of an important announcement for the viewers of my channel, and that is I've decided to launch my second startup in Thailand. So the first one that I launched was back in 2021, late 2021. It was a property tech startup, so basically doing virtual tours, 360 photography and video for hotels, villas, basically a hospitality and real estate property tech startup, right? So I launched that. I applied for the Smart Visa, which if you don't know about the Smart Visa already, I've made some other videos about it on my channel, which you can check out up here somewhere. I'll leave a link or in the description. And basically what that is it takes the place of a work permit. So if you're launching a startup over here, you usually get the Smart Visa for 6 months. And then from there you can extend it up to, I believe, 2 or 3 years. So it's a pretty attractive option if you're, smart, hence the name Smart Visa, and you want to launch a startup or your talent. There's 5 different visa types under the Smart Visa program. And it's a relatively new initiative that was rolled out, I think, around 5 years ago here in Thailand. And then also that's through the BOI, which also does the LTR visa, the long-term resident visa. So I've made videos about this already on my YouTube channel. I'm not going to get into too much detail about this. You can schedule a consultation call on my website if you want more specific details. But yeah, in this video, I just want to discuss a little bit more about this digital marketing startup that I'm going to be launching in Thailand, specifically Koh Samui, right? So I'm not going to give the name right now, but it's Digitech Solutions, right? So that's the name of the startup that I'm launching. I just kind of pulled something out of a hat. I did a little bit of research and found this name that I think is pretty appealing. So my previous startup was called Thailand 360 Tours because that was in property tech, and it was all about 360 photography and videography. But this new startup is going to be, it's a digital marketing agency. So offering everything from done for you marketing advertising solutions, Google ads, Facebook ads, the whole shebang, and then also web design and SEO. Since this is something that is also in my wheelhouse, it's not really something that I like to do all that much. So I would prefer to just hire somebody to join for that part of the team. But obviously all of these things combined are going to help local businesses, micro, small, medium-sized enterprises to reach a larger audience online, grow their online presence, and stand out from the competition. So that's obviously a benefit for the Thai economy, which is one of the main things that you have to prove when you're applying for your Smart Visa. Actually, the first 2 times I got rejected. It takes about a month usually to hear back whether you're rejected or approved. And yeah, for the first startup I got rejected twice, and then on the 3rd time it went through and I was approved. So then I had that visa for about 6 months, and I was actively growing the startup, doing a lot of marketing and getting it out there, spreading the word. But for one reason or another, it just didn't really materialize into what I was hoping for, and I didn't have the required 600,000 baht to put into a bank account so that I could then extend that visa another year and a half, roughly. And then at that time, I had already found a company which is called Panomatics. They've been doing virtual tours for luxury hotels and resorts in the hospitality industry for roughly 18 years. So I had connected with the founder, CEO, Max, and then basically one thing led to another, and I decided to switch from the Smart Visa over to the official work permit, which was also under the BOI, the Board of Investment, same as the Smart Visa and the LTR visa. And then I worked for that company for roughly 1 year, give or take a few months. But unfortunately, it just really wasn't working out because I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but long story short, I wasn't receiving a salary, so I was basically working for free. This is actually a fairly common story for a lot of entrepreneurs that eventually make it big, is that they find a mentor and then they just start working for free for that guy or girl, woman, could be either or, and then they break off, they do their own thing, they make a ton of money, right? So that could potentially happen with this startup. And, I am potentially looking for investors, so I'm just going to shout it right out there to my YouTube audience. If you are interested in investing in a startup that I believe has a lot of potential, then feel free to post a comment down below or go to my website, send me an email. You can also schedule a consultation call on there as well, Be Remote Consulting. And then that's also, in addition to the digital marketing agency, I also have Be Remote Consulting, which isn't officially, it's not legally registered or anything yet, but that's also another service offering that I could provide for people that, are looking to come over to Thailand. They want to work remotely from over here and just set up shop on a paradise island like Koh Samui, right? So that could be like, another side business that I could do in addition to the digital marketing agency. But of course, I haven't actually been approved for the Smart Visa yet. I just submitted my application form before recording this video. All that's really required is to fill out a couple different forms, and then you have to put together a pitch deck, essentially a business plan, which is pretty straightforward. In this case, I just took the pitch deck that I had from the previous company, Thailand 360 Tours, and I modified it to the new one, right? So overall, very straightforward. Obviously, I could go out and hire a visa agent to do all this stuff for me, but I don't really see the point in spending a bunch of money when I could just do it myself, right? That's usually my frame of thinking about most things, to be honest. But in this case, if I really want to make this digital marketing agency a success story, then I'm going to need to hire a team. And for the first 6 months of the Smart Visa, the startup visa, you don't need to show proof of income or registration of the company with 3 Thai shareholders or any of that stuff. That's only after the first 6 months. And then if you decide to extend, you also need to show 600,000 baht in a bank account, similar to a retirement visa, although the retirement visa is going to be about 800,000 baht, I believe. But yeah, so as long as the startup is fairly successful in those first 6 months, you should easily be able to show that 600,000 baht. Unfortunately, for my first startup, I wasn't able to do that. So then I decided to just join the company for a year, work for the company, basically in exchange for the work permit. And then I decided to quit, and I had to give up my work permit. So now I'm back on a tourist visa again, which is rather unfortunate. I'll have to do another visa run early in February. I'll probably just go down to Malaysia again like I did last time. And you get 2 land border crossings per year and then 3 flights. So basically it works out to be about 10 months if you were to just stay on a tourist visa. But the fact of the matter is I'm starting to get a lot more business opportunities coming in, helping with marketing and advertising in Samui. I've really made a name for myself here through all of the content that I'm creating, showing around the island, and it's reaching millions and millions of people every single month. This month is on track to reach about 4 million people, just over. And so I've obviously got the chops. I know what I'm doing. I am a master at organic marketing at this point, and I really want to start helping local businesses. Could even be massage shops, weed shops, you name it. Lots of hotels, tourism, travel, hospitality, real estate as well. I'm starting to get into real estate markets over here in addition to everything else that I'm doing. So yeah, I think this startup is going to be very successful. Now I just have to wait about a month for it to be approved by the BOI. Hopefully it gets approved and it's not rejected. I'm about 80% sure that it's going to get approved because number one, it shows a clear benefit for the Thai economy, which is that's the big thing that you have to prove when you're applying for your Smart Visa, right? And I don't have a lot of competition. There's some digital marketing agencies in Bangkok that are doing pretty well. There's one called Primal, another one called Gray Alchemy or something like that. A couple other ones, but there's really not too much competition, especially here in Samui. I can only think of like 1 or 2 or maybe 3 digital marketing agencies that offer web design and SEO. So I think that kind of puts me in a unique position to get this going relatively quickly And obviously I'll start advertising as well, Google ads, Facebook ads, once everything is set up properly and I've got that smart visa in hand. It's only about 10,000 baht for 6 months, so that's a much more affordable option than, you know, getting an education visa, which is 65,000 baht. That's good for 1 year, although it doesn't actually allow you to legally work in the Kingdom of Thailand. So I don't really see the point of getting an education visa, especially since, just being perfectly honest, I'm really not all that motivated to learn the Thai language, although I probably should, especially if I'm getting into business over here. But yeah, for the most part, my girlfriend speaks fluent Thai. She also speaks really, really good English. So, you know, I can always fall back on her if I have any questions about like translating between Thai and English. That's not really that big of a deal. And then also for the startup smart visa, you need employees as well. So you need to show a team, and this is also pretty important for getting approved. You need to show, you know, 2 or 3 employees, preferably Thai, so that you then give up majority share to the Thai shareholders. That's required once you register the company, which so far I haven't done yet. But after the first 6 months, I will be required to do that in order to extend up to 2 years. So this is all, you know, it's very good information for a lot of people. Unfortunately, they don't have a digital nomad visa yet in Thailand, and I'm not exactly sure when, if ever, they're going to launch one. I'm assuming that would be relatively soon in order to keep up with the competition. Like, you know, if I were to go over to Vietnam now, I get 90 days. I just get the e-visa. It's like $50. And then I get 90 days free ride on a tourist visa in Vietnam. And then also Malaysia, if I were to go over there, I basically get free 90 days, visa on arrival. And this is becoming, I think, a lot more attractive option. I have a lot of friends going over to Vietnam nowadays and Malaysia, these places. But fact of the matter is, I don't really want to live in Malaysia. It's predominantly Muslim country, and I don't really have anything against Muslims, but they do have, like, even if you're caught trafficking drugs, which there's no way I would ever do that, but they have a death penalty. So you could potentially be killed. And that seems very, very severe to me. And then also Bali has something like that as well. Not sure about Vietnam, but don't really want to live in a socialist country all that much, just being perfectly honest. So I think Thailand checks all the boxes for me. And I plan on staying in Samui for the foreseeable future. Been together with my girlfriend for over 3 years now, so she's obviously a really, really important reason why I stay here. And we could potentially get married as well. That's always another option. But I need to get my business going first, and I think this one has a ton of potential to transform businesses and basically put them on the map. So if you're looking for, you know, eventually, you know, marketing, advertising solutions, feel free to reach out to me. I would be happy to schedule a call with you. Again, not exactly sure if this visa is going to get approved, but I'm about 85% sure it will. And yeah, fingers crossed. Wish me luck. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Stay safe. Peace from Koh Samui.